I'm a professional filmmaker who shot for athletes and fitness creators. Today I'll be sharing my top 5 tips for filming an aesthetic workout vlog.
First of all, I want to make a disclaimer that you don't need to have expensive video gear. I have a professional camera, but especially if you're just starting, you don't need to be spending thousands of dollars to make good videos. In fact, you can even just use your smartphone. Once you've decided what you'll use, let's get started.
Tip number 1, warm-up sets. Have you ever tried recording your squats, center yourself up on camera, and then when you watched it back, you were out of frame the whole time? Well, I'm assuming everyone does warm-up sets, right? Well, during your warm-up sets, you should start recording, but this doesn't need to be your final shot. Let me explain. First, set up your camera and frame it the best you can. Hit record and do your warm-up set. Afterwards, stop recording and watch the video because you have to rest before your next set anyways. As you watch the video, make any observations about the framing. See what you like, see what you don't like, and see if everything is in frame the way you want it. Then, make the right adjustments. And boom, now your working sets will be perfectly framed and beautiful. Tip number 2. Lighting. You can get really creative with lighting, and making a juicy shot with aesthetic lighting in the gym can get really fun. I'd say the number one key thing about lighting at the gym is finding at least 2 sources of light. A lot of the time you can get away with the second one, ideally one soft light in front of you and especially one hard light directly above you. I know at a lot of gyms the ceilings can get really high, so ideally find a light that's lower, but if you can't, overhead lights can still be really useful. The reason for this is because we want to emulate even a little bit of those bodybuilding competition show lights. Muscle definition can get picked up much better with a bright light, casting shadows from above you. I may not have the greatest muscles, but you probably do, so for showing off your pumps or practicing posing, just walk around the gym and look for the brightest light on the ceiling and position yourself directly under it. I don't have abs to show you, but you might. Abs, muscle striations, and even your jawline will look much more defined. Frame your camera angle right, get hit with the best lighting possible, and show off those massive gains. On top of this, there are so many different ways to get good lighting for different kinds of shots in the gym. If you want to see more in a different video, let me know in the comments below. Tip number 3. Know which muscles you're working and get as many different camera angles as possible. If you quickly watch this clip and observe what you see, think about why this might look off. If you know why anyone would do this workout, it's for their back, so why are we singing this instead? As you film your workouts, it's really helpful to know what muscles your exercises are working, so you can focus your angles there. This means we want to see your back and especially your lats for pull-ups and pull-downs. We should obviously see your biceps for bicep curls, and when shooting for squats and deadlifts, sometimes I like to do a direct side angle just to see the bar path and to see my spine and my form, but I personally think that the best angle for squats and deadlifts is a slight 45-degree behind you, and for all my gym girls out there, this is the best way to show off your glute pumps. But there is no rule for this. Just play around with angles until you eventually learn what looks good and what doesn't for each exercise. And for your favorite exercises, you'll find your go-to angles. What I personally like to do when I get different angles is to make sure I get one angle that emphasizes the muscle being worked, one wide angle that shows everything, and one angle that shows my face so everyone knows the massive weight I'm lifting. Tip number 4. Foreground and background. When you're shooting in the gym, you might find that most of the time, the framing itself doesn't look all that interesting. So why not spice it up by being a bit more selective with your backgrounds and your foregrounds? For backgrounds, I like to leave lots of space behind me for depth and blur in the background. I also aim a bit towards the ceiling to show off the overhead lights if the gym has them, and I'll shoot in the middle of an aisle so I have leading lines that point attention towards me in the middle. For foreground, one of my favorite things to do is to put my camera right up against the dumbbell rack. Mind you, I wouldn't do this if the gym is busy because we do want to respect the space and we wouldn't want to be in the way. But if the opportunity arises, this is a great shot to keep in your arsenal. Another way to use foreground is if you shoot through other machines in the area to create a frame inside a frame, making a really interesting shot. And the final tip number 5, is to be creative. When we're just starting with our fitness videos, sometimes all we can think about is recording our exercises. But if you're into fitness, you know all too well that fitness isn't just working out at the gym. It's the nutrition, the fatigue, the mental struggles, and so much more. If you want to express what your lifestyle is, what your interests are, or if you want to share something, find a way to tell us through video. Video creation is an amazing medium to show off your personality and your character. Now that you're making videos, you're much more than just a fitness creator. You're a creator, and ultimately an artist. So get out there and make something amazing. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, my name is Haruki Gaman, and it's great to have you aboard. Make sure to hit like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments below what kind of video I should do a tutorial on next. And I'll see you soon.